Welcome back into my office. You're here with me, Brian, and we're going to now have a look at this early 19th century family Bible, which is beautifully preserved in a lovely period, full leather, gilt decorated binding like so. The spine actually has 1834 stamped onto one of the compartments, and we see that the edges of the boards are gilt ruled, as well as the turn-ins. They're very nice marbled end papers for this is a monumental book, heavy, thick, large. There is an engraved frontis like so, very nicely done actually, with a tissue guard. It's 1832, Hartford, Andrus and Judd, well-known publishers of the era. It is a family Bible, so it is comprehensive with all sorts of additions as typical, including at the rear the New Testament as well as an index, etc. Here we have small wood engraved images from Genesis, for instance, there. You'll notice that the text block the paper is clean and supple, and the text block is square and tight, which is a good sign. These types of large family Bibles of this era, in fact most of the 19th century, because they're so large and heavy and were used on such a regular basis in many households, the bindings typically often are in rather poor shape. The covers can be detached. That comes from the leather drying out and the book being essentially used so heavily that the leather gets dried, and the weight of the covers, they basically just snap off or break off. But this one, the joints are cracked on it, but the leather is supple and the boards are still strongly and firmly attached. Here we have the family record, which just has a couple names in it. And here are some births here. 1799, which is interesting, 1829. And here we see deaths, the inevitable end of a life. 1832 is the date of this New Testament title page. And there's the Gospel according to St. Matthew. Again, we see small wood engraved images. This is almost certainly due to the fact that this Bible was probably from this publisher also issued in a smaller format, like an octavo format, which would have allowed these wood engraved images, to be used by separating them out and putting one or two on a plate within that work. And so that explains why a large family quarto Bible like this would have a series of smaller images like so. And of course we have this detailed chronological index here. When you stop to think that this was typeset, this is really a staggering amount of work. It's unbelievable, I think the compositor to arrange all this lettering. And so I'll show you once again briefly just the exterior, a little bit of rubbing, a little bit of wear on the joints, a little bit of cracking at the head and the tail here, but really beautifully preserved, a very nice example, scarce in this sort of an attractive period binding, and it is available now online from me, Brian DeMambro.